Hello and welcome to another casted game of Age of Empires 3DE from the Sunbros 1v1 tournament. Tonight we're bringing you a best of 3 set between Pixelbuggy and Gideon. Let's get straight into it. For game 1 of this set, we are on Vistula Basin. And we have got Gideon in the colour green playing as the Brits, and we've got Pixelbuggy in the colour pink playing as the Hausa Civ with their lovely green flag, confusing me. The map is, as I mentioned, Vistula Basin. We've got a forward trade post trade route going right across the middle. We've got this river with a few crossing points. We've got the mills. Not that you don't see a lot of action. And we've got a fairly generous number of hunts. You've got 2 fairly large hunts near your town centre and a starting hunt right on top of your town centre. Pixelbuggy opening up with the livestock market that they get for free, and the granary also free to lure in some hunts, and a really nice placement of that granary catching 2 of these starting hunts. Going to be dropping down a house as well. Gideon opening up as Brits with 2 manor houses, already up to 11 villas versus 8. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that rapidly escalating British villager count as we go. And the explorers are just doing their thing. No one going for any trade posts. Very late. Good luck there from Buggy. But we do like to see it. And Raz just having a little rest. Moving on again now. We've got a bit of very rude play here. I wonder how deliberate that was as well, because they did meet about 20 or 30 seconds ago. And the African explorer there able to come in and absolutely swipe that treasure out from under the feet of Gideon. First shipments are in for Hausa. We've got the classic 3 villagers, and they've got the Hausa Kingdom Builder card loaned up there, ready to presumably go during the Age 2 transition. And that's not a British deck. And for Gideon, we've got a deck called Cossacked, so that's interesting. And the opening card is also 3 villagers. Can we spot? Are these called Cossacks? These are called Hussars. Is that what we're referring to? Looks like we've got silversmiths. We've got theatres, so it could be some sort of merc-focused play here. Also, I'd love to see riding school in there. What a niche card. So we'll see what's going to come out of Brits. Very much a sort of do anything Civ. Haven't got that eclectic mix of mechanics that some of the newer Civs have, but they give you such a strong economy that you can just go anywhere with them regardless. Scores absolutely neck and neck. I've never seen scores so close. As players continue with their transition now. Hausa mining quite a lot of gold. Got almost half their villagers on gold. Interesting to watch. Also, not getting any wood. Don't think they get any wood for the age up. I guess they can sell cattle. So need to think about what they're going to do for population, although I'm sure Pixel has it all in plan. Brits are sending Virginia Company in transition. Going to be putting down 2 more manor houses before it arrives. Not quite sure about the value of that. But we can deduce from that we're going to be seeing a lot more manor houses going down as we move into Age 2, and that villager count is just going to keep on going up and up. 21 it is now, plays 15. Hausa have their second shipment available. If they were gonna if they were going to do timing on Hausa Kingdom, would have sent it earlier, so they've got something else in mind. Of course, nope, they just forgot it. Putting down a mosque. I'm guessing that means they aged up with Ottoman allies. Please don't write in. I do not know the Hausa age ups. And we've got the tavern. So you remember what I was saying about something to do with mercs? We've got the tavern down now for Brits. So I expect we might be seeing some interesting merc play coming out of this. Wonder if Cossacks are a map specific merc. I wouldn't have put it past. Yes. Wouldn't have put it past Gideon to just know the maps in advance and have a plan specifically for this. So we've got Cossack Daredevils coming up. Let's have a look. These are 115 gold. So in raw resources, that's more than a must, but a lot less than a hussar, similar to, I guess, a Russian Cossack. And this is a fast Cossack hand cavalry with a powerful lance attack that charges, can dismount, tagged as hand cavalry, outlaw, and all the other things you would expect. So these are going to be providing the early pressure, and it is really early pressure for the Brits. Going to get 3 out in this first batch. Of course, Brits with their manor house boom going on in the background do not really have a problem with the population cost of outlaws, which is one of the things that makes them so suited to outlaw plays. For now, these costs are just going to go and sit up in the corner. It's around this point that we'll have a check of how much exploring both sides have done. Looks like Gideon has done a sweep past the Hausa town centre, but definitely doesn't have enough information about their hunts and where they'll have put down those granaries to go straight in and beeline the villagers. Let's have a look. So you've got 6 villagers into at the macro here. We've got 6 villagers gathering food for the TC to keep working, and then we've got 16 on the gold. That is some big investment in these outlaws. The Cossacks helping our explorer Christopher Banks here pick up 100 XP. That's going to go into more gold. Oh my god, the gold train just keeps on running. Let's check in on Hausa. We haven't really paid attention to what they are up to. Going to be shipping this card. Natchi, it's an influence costing card, and ships a number of musketeers and labels them to be trained from war camps where they just cost normal things. So an unlock and a shipment there on the musketeers seems quite valuable. Also have put down a native trading post here with the House of Gideon, and they have access to the Lipkar Tartars for 115 influence there. Got their university generating influence and training villagers. So they Hausa definitely going for this kind of native and influence alliance influence shipment strategy, because there is not a war camp down yet. Let's check these Akan Nobis. So these are the musketeers that were given. They've got a 1 area of effect on their musket attack, and they've got a pretty classic musketeer style hand attack. And look at that, they shadow tech. That unit just got upgraded to veteran status. Got a really nice 23 now, 213 health. Veteran musketeers with some area of effect on the field at 8 minutes. That was a really nice synergy there for Hausa. Those musketeers, I think they're going to do fairly well against these Cossack Daredevils. These Cossack Daredevils are specialized to kill. There's sort of bonus against heavy cavalry, so they're sort of a bit like light cav, but I think really they're hussars in their hearts. I mean, they're tagged up like it. Cossacks going to be coming in. They haven't got the best siege in the world, so they're not really going to threaten this trade post, especially with those I'm just going to call them musketeers on the way. They've got 6 of something else. No, they've just got 2 different flavors, probably the shipped and naturally trained. They've got a total of 23 of these musketeers. Pressing in now on the British base. Britain has not aged up now, has not even got anywhere near the right macro for it, although they have just shifted a whole bunch of villagers over to food. What Britain have going for them, though, is the villager count. They're at 44 plays 21, so more than double the difference. They've got plenty of these Cossack daredevils to mount the defence. How many of them? 26. So they've actually outnumbered these musketeers in raw numbers terms, although we've also got some Lidifi knights with so many different types of resistance it breaks the UI. So let's watch as the 2 armies are going to start skirting around each other here. The Cossack daredevils have gone really, really wide to hunt for Hausa villagers. Not going to find any for a while. They're backed up by, it's some more Cossack daredevils, so a total of 26 on the field. That's a huge number, but they are the right units for these Akan musketeers to fight very effectively. Let's check the line of sight. The British Cossacks just skirting around, seeing what they can find. Britain is going to know where the Hausa army is right about now, because it's coming into range of these manor houses and going to encounter the manor house wall. Be interesting to see whether they bother to do any damage to that manor house wall. And it looks like the Cossacks have just decided to come home and potentially take on this army, although they're waiting a little way off. Perhaps waiting for some extra reinforcements or some other type of units. There's 6 longbowmen coming in from the home city. They're going to counter these musketeers, but there's only 6 of them. It's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things when you look at the sizes of these armies currently. These Lidifi knights have absolutely found the villagers, and the musketeers throwing in some shots with that area of effect as well. Took out quite a number of British villagers. Not that it matters that much. British still have an absolutely massive villager lead. It's 41 plays 29. Now we're having our out-and-out fight. All the Cossack daredevils have dismounted. This changes them up. They now count as heavy infantry. So their tags change. And they've got a ranged attack. It's 22. That's very, very similar. These Cossack daredevils dismounted are not that much weaker than these Akan musketeers. And remember, these Akan musketeers are veteran units. They had to get them shipped in from the home city. That's the power of outlaws. Only about a quarter of the HP, the difference there. There's also some Minutemen thrown into the mix here for Britain, and some longbows. A really well judged, measured defense there. One of these Lidifi knights is going to go off and do some independent work here, trying to shut down this mine. But just one of them versus one Cossack daredevil coming in here. Although could stand and fight that one Cossack daredevil. Yeah, it's having a think about it. No. Means that the mine is not shut down and only one villager was taken away from there. Now you've got to say the momentum is very much with the British. While that fight was going on, they got the food they needed for the age up. They're now fully aged up. They've got the 2 falconets coming in. They've got so many batches of Cossack daredevils queued up. It's a bit ridiculous. And they've got access to their fortress aid shipments, which look, it's more mercenaries. Interestingly, no upgrades. These Cossack daredevils are just base level stats. It doesn't even look like they've been shadow teched, so the Wild West upgrade in the saloon not been picked up yet. That potentially be quite helpful, although the British army now has more longbowmen in it than Cossacks. just. And the pressure's really on for the Hausa. You've got to say the momentum is with Britain right now after that pretty good defense of the first push. Hausa's got more of these musketeers. Got a few Girots as well coming in to support the army. Has picked up this windmill. I mean, it's 1 food a second. Sure, it's nice to have, but it's definitely not going to make that big a difference. And you also have to defend it because the British army is in the area. One Cossack Daredevil sent ahead as a sort of scout there, getting killed off. But now the Brits know what they're up against, and they know where it is. Hausa still, obviously, massively behind on villagers, although I would maybe not say massively anymore. 40 plays 34, that's not that big a difference. Those raids did put some dampeners on the British villager rush here, as we see that windmill spin and flip colour. The problem with taking the windmill, you've got to hold it, otherwise it's resources for your opponent instead. It's one Hausa villager here who's be wandering away because he got too close to this gold mine that the this tin mine rather that the Brits need to defend now that they're taking. Going to do that very assertively, claiming this section of the map, taking out the granary and grabbing the windmill, which is very good for them as well. And it's really a case of Hausa on the defensive. They have recognised that they cannot take this British force as it stands. They've gone home to mass up even further. They've got some Libica Tartars coming out of that native trade post. That's cool to see, but it's only 1, 2, 3, just 2. Not that much in the grand scheme of things. They've still got a big mass of musketeers, and sure, musketeers are going to beat those Cossacks until they dismount. And they've got a few Lafidi Knights. I mean, the Lafidi have got a lot of health. They're really nice hand cavalry, but I mean, they're no Svahi, they're not. They're not the kind of thing that you think 7 of are really going to make all the difference in a fight like this. Britain being quite bold now with the falconets out quite near the front line, moving things around. Let's see if they understand what they're up against. Can see the war camp for the Hausa, know that the town centre is at the back there, so know they're pretty close to the base, probably expecting to have to face a challenge to this army anytime soon. Those Cossacks being moved around very aggressively, very nervously, waiting for the push to come in, making sure that the Falks aren't being left out in the cold at any point. Cossacks taking down the Hausa Explorer, that's really nice. Some longbows been left out in the cold a little bit here. The Lafidi Knights can come in on them, but now the Cossacks are back, and actually those Lafidi Knights are just going to get eaten up. You've got to say, oh, okay, here we go. It's crunch time now. The musks are coming forward. This is basically all that Hausa have. Is this massive musks? The musks would do well against the Cossacks while they're mounted, but the Cossacks are all dismounting. It only takes a few seconds to do that, and now you're just playing musks v musks, really. The falconets are firing right into the middle of that Hausa mass of musks, taking out 4 or 5 at a time, and doing enough damage to the others that the dismounted Cossacks are well in control. Look at that. The Hausa put almost all their units on focusing down the Falks and didn't even get both of them. The Cossacks back up and mounted, looking very dangerous again, and the GG comes in absolutely understandable. A real tough rub there for the Hausa, but that is the power of Outlaws. Gideon came in with a plan. We know from the title of the deck that it was in their mind right from the beginning, and it was really effective. Eating up all that gold, all those mines, and funneling it straight into these outlaw units, which were hugely effective, especially with the dismount ability to effectively break the countering of these Hausa musketeers. Really, really nice game for Gideon there. That puts them 1-0 up, and we'll move on with the next game of this set very shortly. But for now, GG.